My wife said coldly. I need space. You cried during a movie like a child. I replied, you're right. You need space. Then I packed my bags and moved out permanently. Her confused text. I meant like an hour of space. Came too late when... Original post. I, 34 male, have been married to my wife, 32, for 6 years. Together for 9 total. No kids yet. We'd been waiting for the right time, which looking back was code for her never actually wanting them with me. Last Saturday night, we were watching one of those emotional war movies. You know the type, soldier comes home, reunites with his dog, the whole theater bait setup. And yeah, I teared up during the final scene. Not full-on sobbing, just eyes watering. Maybe a single tear escaped. Sue me. The movie ended. I wiped my face, reached for the remote to find something lighter. That's when she spoke. Seriously? Her voice was ice cold. I looked over. What? You're crying. Over a movie. Like a literal child. I blinked. It was emotional. The dog died, waiting for him to come home. She stood up, arms crossed. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're so soft. It's embarrassing. My coworkers' husbands don't cry at movies. They don't get emotional over commercials. They're actual men. Now, context, this wasn't the first comment like this. Over the past year, she'd been making little jabs. When I got choked up at my grandfather's funeral, she said I was making a scene. When I teared up reading a letter my late grandmother had written me, she called it dramatic. But this felt different, more deliberate, more cruel. What do you want me to say? I asked quietly. I need space. I can't even look at you right now without feeling, I don't know, disappointed. Something in me shifted. Not anger exactly. More like clarity. You're right, I said, standing up. You need space. I walked to our bedroom, started pulling out my duffel bag. She followed, leaning against the doorframe. What are you doing? Giving you space. I meant like, go watch TV in the other room. Cool off for an hour. I kept packing. Underwear. Socks. The essentials. Wait. Her tone changed. Confused now. You're actually leaving? Over this. I zipped the bag, grabbed my laptop, charger, toiletries. You said you needed space. That looking at me disappointed you. I'm removing the disappointment. You're being ridiculous. It's almost midnight. Good thing my buddy has a couch. I was out the door by 11:47 p.m. Drove to my best friend's place. He and I have been tight since college. He didn't ask questions, just handed me a beer and pointed to the guest room. My phone buzzed at 12:23 a.m. Wife, I'm in like an hour of space. Come home. I didn't respond. 12:45 a.m. Okay, this is childish. You proved your point. 1:15 a.m. Are you seriously ignoring me right now? 2:30 a.m. Fine. Be dramatic. See if I care. I turned off my phone and slept better than I had in months. Update 1 week later. So it's been 7 days since I walked out. Lot to unpack here. First morning after, I woke up around 8 a.m. Turned my phone back on. 23 missed calls, 31 text messages. The texts evolved interestingly. 3 a.m. I'm sorry, okay? Just come home. 4:15 a.m. You're scaring me. 6 a.m. This is manipulation. You're punishing me for expressing my feelings. 7:30 a.m. My mother was right about you. Ah, yes, her mother. The woman who once told me at Thanksgiving dinner that men who read fiction are suspect. Lovely lady. I texted back one message. I think we need to talk. But not yet. I need time to think. Her response was immediate. Think about what? You're blowing this way out of proportion. I didn't reply. Monday morning, I went to work like normal. Stayed at my buddy's place. Tuesday, I started looking at apartment listings. Not because I made a final decision, but because I needed to know my options. Wednesday is when things got interesting. Her best friend called me. Let's call this situation what it was, a reconnaissance mission. Hey, haven't heard from you in a while. How's everything? I'm good. What's up? Oh, nothing, just checking in. You know how it is. Hey, random question. Are you and my girl okay? She seemed stressed. We're working through some things. Working through things? Like what? She mentioned you guys had a tiny disagreement, but did she tell you what the disagreement was about? Pause. Something about a movie? Did she tell you she called me an embarrassment for having emotions. That looking at me disappointed her. Longer pause. She said you were being overly sensitive about a small comment. Right. Well, I appreciate you checking in. Take care. I hung up. Could already picture the frantic text chain happening between them. Thursday, her mother called. This woman has never called me directly in 6 years of marriage. What is this nonsense I'm hearing? You abandoned my daughter over a movie. Hello to you too. Don't get smart with me. She's devastated, crying every night. And you're off doing what? Sulking. Your daughter told me she was disappointed and embarrassed by me, that I wasn't a real man because I showed emotion. I removed myself from a situation where I'm apparently not valued. Oh, please. She was venting. Couples vent. You don't just leave. I think I get to decide when and why I leave a situation that affects my mental health. Mental health, she scoffed. Your generation and your mental health. In my day, men worked through problems. They didn't run away. In your day, men also drank themselves into early graves and died of heart attacks at 50 because they bottled everything up. I'll pass. She hung up on me. Friday, my wife showed up at my friend's apartment. I wasn't there. I was at work, but my buddy called me immediately after. Dude, your wife just banged on my door for 10 minutes. She was intense. What did she say? That I'm enabling your tantrum. That I should stop letting you hide. That this is destroying her marriage. I told her I couldn't make you do anything and she needed to give you space. The irony was not lost on me. What did she do? Call me a terrible friend and stormed off. But heads up, she said she's calling your parents next. Great. Saturday, exactly 1 week from the incident, my mom called. She talked to my wife. Honey, what's going on? She sounds like a mess. Did she tell you what she said to me? She said you had a disagreement about emotional expression. I told her everything. The years of small comments. The funeral. The grandmother's letter. The movie night. My mom went quiet for a long moment. She said, what about your grandfather's funeral? That I was making a scene. I think you need to really think about what you want here, sweetheart. And whatever you decide, your father and I support you. That support meant more than I expected. Because up until that moment, a small part of me wondered if I was overreacting. My mom validated that I wasn't. Sunday night, I finally agreed to meet my wife for dinner. Public place, neutral ground. Update 2. The dinner and its aftermath. Monday evening, some mid-range restaurant. I got there first, ordered a water, waited. She walked in looking rough. Red eyes, makeup barely covering the exhaustion. For a split second, I felt bad. Then I remembered the look on her face when she called me embarrassing. She sat down. Immediately started. This has been the worst week of my life. I'm sorry to hear that. You're sorry? You caused it. You left me. Over nothing. The waiter appeared. Worst timing ever. We ordered quickly. She got a salad, I got a burger. He disappeared fast, probably sensing the tension. It wasn't nothing to me, I said calmly. You've been criticizing me for showing emotion for over a year. The funeral, the letter, dozens of small comments. Saturday was just the final one. I was venting. Married people vent. Venting is, work was stressful. Venting is not you're an embarrassment, and I'm disappointed when I look at you. She opened her mouth. Closed it. Tried again. Okay. Fine. I could have worded it better. But your response was completely disproportionate. You left. For a week. I needed space. Same thing you said you needed. I meant an hour. You didn't specify. And honestly, the space has been clarifying. Her eyes narrowed. Clarifying how? I've been thinking about our marriage. About whether we actually make each other happy anymore. The blood drained from her face. What are you saying? I'm saying I felt like I'm not enough for you for a long time. That who I am, someone who feels things, who isn't afraid to show emotion, is somehow a character flaw you're embarrassed by. That's not. I never said. You compared me to your co-workers' husbands. Said they're actual men. What was I supposed to think? The food arrived. Neither of us touched it. So what? You want a divorce? Over some comments. I want to understand if you actually respect me. Because from where I'm sitting, it doesn't feel like you do. She started crying. Quietly but visibly. Part of me wanted to comfort her. But I stayed put. I do respect you. My mom always said showing emotion is weakness. I was raised that way. I'm sorry if I projected that onto you. Your mom. The same woman who called me to say men in her generation didn't run away? She winced. She called you. Thursday. I didn't ask her to do that. But you told her a version of events that made me the villain. Same with your best friend. Same with probably everyone else. She didn't deny it. I think we need couples therapy, I said. At minimum. And I need a genuine apology. Not sorry if I hurt you. An actual acknowledgement that what you said was wrong and cruel. Okay. Yes. Therapy. Apology. I can do that. And I need you to understand. If the contempt continues, if the comments about my emotions don't stop, I'm gone. For real. She nodded slowly. Where does this leave us right now? I'm staying at my buddy's while we figure things out. We'll do therapy, see where it goes. We ate in awkward silence. I paid. Just seemed easier than splitting it. We walked to our cars separately. In the parking lot, she grabbed my arm. I love you. You know that, right? Despite everything I said, I love you. I love you too. But love isn't enough if there's no respect. I drove back to my buddy's place. Felt hollowed out, but also lighter. Like I'd finally said things I'd been holding in for years. The next morning, she sent a text that changed everything. Update 3. The truth comes out. Tuesday morning. I woke up to a text from my wife sent at 6:47 a.m. I've been thinking all night. You're right. I haven't respected you the way you deserve. I'm going to schedule therapy for us. I want to fix this. Genuinely surprised. Maybe even hopeful. Then I got a call from my brother. He lives in the same neighborhood as us. Works from home. And apparently, he'd noticed something I hadn't. Hey man, this is awkward, but how long have you been staying at your friend's place? Week and a half. What? Because there's been a car at your house I don't recognize. Silver sedan. Seen it there 3 times now. Usually shows up in the evening, leaves late. My stomach dropped. When did you first notice it? Maybe 4 days ago? I didn't think much of it at first. Figured it was a friend helping her out or something. But it was there again last night, until almost 2 a.m. I thanked him, hung up, sat in silence for about 10 minutes. Then I did something I'm not proud of but don't regret. I logged into our shared phone plan account. We'd always had access to each other's data for mundane reasons, checking bills, usage, whatever. I pulled up her call and text history. One number appeared constantly, multiple times a day, long calls late at night. The contact name wasn't saved in the account summary, but the frequency was damning. I called my lawyer friend. Not an official consultation, just a what would you do conversation. Document everything, he said. Don't confront her yet. If you're considering divorce, evidence matters, even in no-fault states, especially if you're looking at asset division. Tuesday evening, I texted my wife. Hey, something came up with work. Need to reschedule our therapy discussion. Can we talk Thursday instead? She agreed enthusiastically. Of course. Take your time. I'm committed to this. I spent Wednesday gathering information. Bank statements. Credit card records. I wasn't looking to be punitive. I just needed to understand what I was dealing with. Well, I found dinners I wasn't present for at restaurants we'd never been to together. Hotel charges in our own city from 3 months ago. 2 months ago. Last month. A recurring Venmo payment to a name I didn't recognize. Here's the thing. I'm not a detective. This was a 30-minute deep dive into finances I had full access to. She either didn't think I'd look or didn't care. Thursday arrived. I met her at the same restaurant. She looked better, rested, almost hopeful. She'd clearly rehearsed something. Before you say anything, she started, I want to apologize. Truly, I was raised to see male emotion as weakness, and I projected that onto you unfairly. You're not embarrassing. You're actually kind, sensitive in a way I've taken for granted. I want to do better. It was a good apology, genuinely, and it made what I had to say next even harder. I appreciate that, I said, but I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Anything. Who owns the silver sedan that's been at our house 3 times this week? The color drained from her face faster than I've ever seen. What? My brother lives down the street. He noticed. Late nights. Multiple visits. So I'm asking you directly. Is there someone else? She didn't answer. Just stared at me like a deer in headlights. The phone records show a number you've been calling constantly. The credit card has hotel charges for the past 3 months. In our own city. So I'll ask again. It's not what you think. Then what is it? She started crying. Different from before, panicked, desperate tears. I was going to end it. I swear. This past week, being apart from you, it made me realize. So there I asked someone. She nodded. Barely perceptible. How long? For months. I sat back. For months. While I was worried about her little comments, she was sleeping with someone else. While I was questioning if I was too sensitive, she was checking into hotels. The movie night, I said slowly. The "I need space" comment. Was that? Were you trying to get me to leave? She didn't answer, but I saw it in her eyes. The truth she wouldn't say out loud. You wanted me gone so you could see him. And when I actually left, you panicked because it wasn't on your terms. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. You've been criticizing me for months to justify your affair to yourself, making me the villain so you could feel okay about what you were doing. She reached across the table. I pulled my hand back. We can work through this. People survive affairs. We can do therapy. You wanted therapy to clear your conscience, not to fix us. That's not true. Then why didn't you mention any of this at dinner on Monday? You knew I was considering divorce. You had every opportunity to come clean. Instead, you gave me a speech about your mother's influence on your views of masculinity. She had nothing to say. I stood up, left cash for my coffee, looked at her one last time. I'll have my lawyer contact yours. We're done. Final update, 3 months later. The divorce finalized last week. Here's how it shook out. Our state is no fault, so the affair didn't technically affect the legal outcome. But the financial evidence helped. The hotel stays, the dinners, the Venmo payments, all documented. My lawyer used it to negotiate a fair split. House sold. We split the equity. I came out with about $67,000 after fees. Retirement accounts. Split proportionally based on contributions during marriage. Lost some, kept most. Personal assets. Everything I brought in, I kept. Same for her. The affair partner, by the way. Her co-worker. One of those husbands she'd been comparing me to. Turned out he was married too. His wife found out about 2 weeks after I confronted my ex. Someone, maybe a mutual friend, maybe just karma, let it slip. His wife filed for divorce immediately. Scorched earth approach. She had 3 kids with him. The fallout was brutal. My ex reached out once after everything was filed. A long email about how she never meant to hurt me, how the affair just happened, how she'd been unhappy for years but didn't know how to communicate it. I didn't respond. What was there to say? Her mother called me exactly once to tell me I was throwing away a good woman over petty jealousy. I said, your daughter cheated on me for 4 months, then tried to gaslight me into thinking I was the problem for having emotions. I'm throwing away someone who never valued me. That's different. She hung up. My buddy let me stay at his place for 6 weeks total until I found my own apartment. Small 1-bedroom, but it's mine. Quiet. No one there to tell me I'm embarrassing for feeling things. I still cry at movies sometimes. Last week it was that animated one about the robot and the bird. Shed actual tears at the ending. And you know what? It felt good. No one there to make me feel ashamed. Just me, processing emotions like a normal human being. My therapist says I have some stuff to work through. Trust issues, obviously, but also the subtle conditioning of being criticized for years. I believed her narrative for so long, that I was too soft, too emotional, too much. Turns out I was just married to someone who couldn't appreciate vulnerability. The final irony? About a month ago, I ran into my ex's best friend at a coffee shop. The same one who'd called to do reconnaissance at the beginning. She approached me hesitantly. Hey, I just wanted to say, I didn't know about the affair. She never told me. I'm sorry for calling you that time. I thought you were just being difficult. It's fine. You were being a good friend to her. Was I, though? Good friends tell you when you're messing up. I just enabled her. I didn't have a response to that. We made awkward small talk for another minute, then parted ways. As I walked out, I thought about that night. The movie. The single tear I didn't bother hiding. The comment that set everything in motion. She told me I needed space because I showed emotion like a child. So I gave her space. And in that space, everything she'd been hiding came to light. Sometimes the best revenge isn't dramatic. It's just leaving, refusing to play the role someone assigned you, walking away and discovering your worth more than the narrative they built. I'm not fully healed. Won't pretend I am. Some nights, I still wonder if I missed signs earlier, if I could have saved myself years of subtle emotional erosion. But most days I'm just grateful I trusted my gut that night. That I didn't apologize, didn't beg to understand, didn't minimize my own feelings to keep the peace. She wanted space. I gave her an ocean.